I'm so excited. I'm a southerner, but I'm also half a northerner. I've got family from Liverpool. And so to be up here with the show is just amazing. I've always loved the Lowry. I've been a good few times as a punter, and I've also acted there a couple of times. So I'm really excited to come back with this. And it's such an amazing, beautiful show, perfect for Christmas. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it and seeing the Manchester Christmas markets as well.
Definitely, there's lots to see when you've
Yeah.
got a bit of downtime, but you are going to be on stage, and it's the 75th anniversary of The
Mm.
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I mean, I remember reading it as a kid. Most people have. You've got the younger audiences today. Why do you think it stood the test of time?
Honestly, I just think it's such a beautiful, simple story at its heart, which is, essentially about these four siblings that are learning a lot about themselves, about their own personalities, and about their dynamics in a very short space of time because they're without their parents because of the wartime. They've been evacuated to this place they don't know, and they learn how to get through it together. And I think, most people can find some kind of affinity in that. Um, and also, it's, one of the first ever sort of fantasy stories that was written. And so for a young person, finding this book when it came out, I think back in the 50s, like, you can imagine reading this and all these characters in this other world with different rules and laws, and it's just incredible. This is before the time of Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, etc. So yeah, I think it kind of, I think you can see easily why it's lasted this long.
Definitely. I mean, I tried to go through the wardrobe into Narnia a number of times as a child.
Oh, got a few sore bruises from that, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. But we don't have to because it's beautifully brought together on stage. And I mean that in every sense of the word. You
Oh,
know, the sets, the costumes, the music, and the puppetry. And let's get to the puppetry because
yeah.
your character, Aslan, really is majestic.
Yeah, the puppet, it's actually three puppeteers and then me alongside it. Um, and the puppet is, a larger than life-size lion, but not your typical lion. It's been given a sort of beautiful design to give it that lovely kind of fantasy quality. Um, and yeah, you got someone operating the head, someone inside, and someone on the tail. And the four of us all work together to give you Aslan. So I'm constantly alongside the puppet, kind of orbiting the puppet, and I have a huge wig and a massive fur coat as well to to help me. But I'm very much the sort of voice and the human embodiment of it. But from what I hear from people, not long after being introduced to Aslan, you very quickly get the style and that that we move and walk and speak together. And hopefully it comes across in a good way.
Oh, absolutely. You just forget that the puppeteers are there. It
Mm,
is like magic. And how challenging is that though, when you're doing the rehearsal process to get the four of you in
yeah.
sync?
Um, I'm glad you brought that up actually, because it wasn't easy. It really wasn't. It we Also, you got to remember we were learning a show that was this show's been going for quite a while, which is great. So we came into this show, over a year ago to learn it. So we were learning things that were already decided. So we had a lot of, move your head on this line, take three steps back on this line, which as an actor is like really difficult. That's really
Mhm.
not what you're used to, even as puppeteers. But that brought its own kind of challenge, which was how do I take all of these really limiting things and actually kind of make it my own as an actor with with all the lines and as Aslan. But then the four of us working together, how do we bring our own stuff to it too? Um, so it took a lot of hours of just getting used to moving together. We literally do breathe together. We take an in breath together, and then that really synchronizes us up. And also, to be honest, it helps doing nearly 400 performances now. So we're we're very much in practice. So someone could do something, slightly different, and we both pick up on it. We are always talking as well, actually. Even the other day, I mentioned to Rodri, who's the puppet captain, he's also inside the lion most of the time. And I said, "Oh, I've always thought on this line that, it feels weird that we step forward. Maybe we don't on that bit." And then we tried it, and so it's always really organic and fluid. So yeah, it's challenging, but it's a great process.
It's absolutely fascinating. I mean, there's so many bits in the show which are just incredible to see. I also love the fact that the actors play the musical instruments and they're
Yeah.
all singing on stage. I think that's a brilliant thing to watch and observe.
It's so fascinating to watch, I have to admit. So yeah, I'm one of the actor musicians in the show. There's about 10 of us that make up that kind of actor musician group. And yeah, we play all the music live, and it is sung and performed by everyone in the company. We've got some incredible dancers in the company as well. And we to watch, the the music that you're hearing, we have a beautiful cello piece that is played throughout the show by the lovely actor Joe Keenan, and they basically kind of become a whole other character. In fact, they're called the Spirit of the Moon because you quite often see them up in the moon, and yeah, they're sort of underscoring some of these beautiful moments with just simple cello pieces, but it really brings it all together. And then to see it happening in front of you, not just down in the pit, like a normal musical. It is incredible. And you see, we have to dance and run around the stage with these instruments. So, we've got a double bass on wheels. We've got a cello that is attached around the neck of the player. I play the guitar. We've got plenty of drums in the show. So yeah, it's fascinating to watch, like you say.